Hi, Davi here, and today we have an episode in the Art Review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Jacki, or at @bguavas here on X or Twitter. So they are a senior concept artist at Gravity, and they've worked in the past for Sony, Marvel, Netflix, so a big shot in the art realm. And yeah, so they have a very, I've discussed artists who have a similar style where it's kind of graphic looking, and what I mean by that is I see a lot of like hard edges, and you would see this with kinds of artwork that's often made with selection tools and stuff like that. Wait, what? Let me just reload this. The hell? Anyway, so some artists come to mind like Mikhail Sochiuk, something, Lea Pinto, these types. And I think they tend to work in like a visual development, and it's a very common style in those spaces. Maybe it's an efficiency thing, because efficiency number one, but also because of the clear shapes. I think it's useful, way more useful, because it just clarity wise, and like number one, it's very simplified. Like you're breaking down shapes or a complex environments into basic shapes, but also because of those clear-cut edges, there's not a lot of vagueness about it. So it's just much more useful if you're trying to move towards some kind of idea, right? So I do think maybe that's why it's a common style, who knows? But now, in the case of Jacki here, I think they mostly focus on environments in their work. It's the kind of style that you see in films like the Spider-Man verse thing, where it has that, or this similar visual look. Lots of hard edges. I'm trying to look. I personally call it the cutout style, just because it looks like a bunch of cutout shapes, but it just has a certain look to it that's not exactly painterly. Because when I think of painterly artwork, I see a lot more brushstrokes, lots of like fading strokes. So, I mean, this one over here kind of has that vibe a little bit. Say if you focus on the reflections, what the hell? Why is it loading so weirdly? Oh my god. What the my bad. Something was glitching. Like you will see in the ground or in the road, lots of like softer strokes. But then again, that could have been some kind of motion blur. Even this is not as painterly. Like I wouldn't consider it like a super painterly kind of artwork. It's just heavy on the shapes. But it's impressive because it's kind of detailed. Like each shape is defined, from the lanterns to the gates of this like storefront. The symbols for their signs, even the cars. It's detailed, but it's simplified. But the thing is, there's also a bit of abstraction in some parts. I mean, as you go further back, look at how almost random those shapes can be. But for the most part, for the majority of this piece, it's just like even these like holes for, I'm not sure what this is, some kind of unit of something. Like these holes over here. And they even have like reflections inside those holes. I mean, this would take such a long time. And you would need a lot of layers to manage this amount of content. And I've noticed for these kinds of shots, they're not too complex in terms of the perspective, which kind of makes sense because of how detail intensive the shots can be, or the environments can be. I mean, this one is kind of dynamic, but it's just a skewed shot. It's not like a 3-point perspective. But let me zoom in here. Why does it do that? It starts out big and then it becomes so tiny. Like two versions get open somehow. Anyway. Oh, look at this part over here. You can see a little bit of that brush basting. So they have some brushes that are not just solid. I mean, it's pretty opaque, but the brush shape itself is it's sort of a bristle brush. Like it looks like a natural tipped brush. And the spacing is kind of, it's not even brush spacing. I think that's mostly jitter. They've played around with the jitter sort of option for the brush. But that's not the major thing. Everywhere else, it's just mostly flat, right? And I see shapes here for the balcony. These shapes are just copied onto the other parts. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of Sparth as well. Let me just write his name down. So it's kind of a mixed media approach, but a digital mixed media approach of creating artwork. It leans a lot into like graphic design a bit. And it kind of veers away a little bit from painting. But a lot of principles in painting are still there, values, brush efficiency. But in this case, they don't use a brush often. I think the lasso or selection tools tend to be a major part of this sort of process. Look at this tree here, or this sort of bush thing. Very geometric. I like the vibes. Again, I'm thinking of that movie, Spider-Man something. The animated film, the 3D animated film. Yeah, it's sort of breaking down in the background. So I think something is happening, like their world is sort of shifting, who knows? So let me see this. Wait, right now just looking at their other works, I do see a lot more traditional paintings. I'm guessing they do like plein air art. Oh my god, it loads so freaking slow. I'm guessing it's gouache, so some recent plein airs. Oh, this is back in 2022. But they have a way of simplifying environments, even in this stage or with this sort of setup, traditional mediums, and they can bring that into their more digital pieces. Interesting, they have like a small thumbnail sketch. Oh my god, right here in this like piece of paper. And then once they decided on the composition, then they went in and painted this. This whole piece looks like an A5 sheet of paper. So yeah, I've noticed a lot of plein air painters. They don't paint that large. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Why would you waste that amount of paint? But yeah, just something I did not expect. Oh wow, is this gouache? Because sometimes I mention gouache, but some people point out that it could be like acrylic paint. Like it's so vivid, or the colors just seem kind of rich. It's so cool. I can feel like how populated this beachfront is. Their color palette is kind of contained. It's not too wild. Look at that. Looks really cool. Can we see this guy? Let me drink some coffee. Let me just read this thing here. Back in May, June, I started plein air painting again. I tried it in school but never liked it much. I think I'm finally starting to get a handle on it though. Here are a few of my favorites from this year. Look at that. Can we zoom in? Yes, we can. Well, it's better zoomed out because when you paint these, you're not like zooming in on the canvas, right? You're sort of you're trying to see the bigger picture. So I'm guessing she is. I think it's a she, or they live close to a beach, because I can see like a beach front here, and it feels like a very coastal kind of area. Yeah, I like the vibes. Like you can really feel like the warmth of their paintings, of the environment, and it does show through their paintings. And they're not too wasteful with the strokes. And it helps because the paintings are not that big anyway. They're kind of small. I do like this one in the middle. The one with the tall sort of... Is that a tree? It's some kind of tree. And they're using some kind of flat bristle brush as their main brush. It looks really good. And it has a very opaque look too. I do like how the pinks are showing for this one. So maybe they've started as a base to add some pinks, you know, and then they paint on top of that. And I like seeing that effect where some of the more saturated colors underneath show through. Sometimes people just use orange because it's an like brown orange or some kind of coffee color to start out as a base. They use that sort of thing as a base, and then I like seeing that when it shows through the strokes on top of it. Like in some parts, like you can see the pinks in here, in here. It just has that painterly effect to it. And it helps you when you do these, it develops your, I guess, efficiency because you're not wasting too much time with the details. It's a big picture, big brush strokes. It's about the general mood, the general vibe. And it does really help you focus more on, I guess, the composition of your pieces. Because again, you're not too zoomed in anyway. Oh my god, why is it loading so long? Some stuff from Blender class. This was done in Blender. Oh my god. How? Well, I do know there are some programs, I think even within Blender, that helps you like draw on it and you can make like a 3D. It's a very interesting way of approaching 3D. Like you're drawing in 2D, but it comes out, or you can make a 3D. I'm not sure what that feature is, but I've seen some works made from that feature. Looks really cool. And it's cool because Blender is free as well. It's open source. And I think one of their biggest things, which made it even more approachable to everyone, was their change in the UI. Because I remember the old version of it. It was so like ugly. And even Blenders, people who've used Blender for so long, even they admit that it's just a very ugly setup. But now the modern version of it is, the UI is, it's just much more, it's still kind of complicated, but it's a lot more manageable. And it's just aesthetically pleasing. You know, aesthetics matter when it comes to UI. Oh, I see some ink sketches here. Can we zoom in? Sketchbook stuff from a few months ago. I miss drawing on paper. You know what's cool is when you draw mostly on paper traditionally and then you go to digital, like you can create much better art, but it can also happen in the reverse where you're so used to doing digital artworks. You know, you're used to using all sorts of brushes, all sorts of filters, all sorts of adjustment layers and stuff like that. And then when you drop down to like traditional, you know, basic pencil, pen, sometimes you can even make better artworks because, you know, a change in your mediums, in your environment, in your workspace can, it's not a guarantee, but it can elicit something, right? So going back and forth, I think is a useful thing. Yeah, lots of, I think they do mostly visual. Oh, wow. Oh my lord. Big trees. I do like big trees too. There's something about large trees that Like it feels so earthly for some reason. And when you look at it long enough, it's like you're living a fantasy. It's like anime, but real life. It's so weird to say that because anime is inspired by real life, right? But there are just some natural landscapes out there that they're just magnificent. Oh, the way Jacki paints, it's they kind of paint like John Park a little bit. Like they seem a bit like the silhouettes tend to be kind of clear a bit. So they're using some layers here and there. And then the way they paint within the silhouettes, you can tell by for example, this whole brush thing, I can see like a repeated shape for these shapes. And then on top of that, or within that layer, I'm guessing they used a clip layer, they painted this like lighter part. So it's a very efficient way of approaching painting, using layers and being smart about it, and not doing everything manually where you paint the edge and you do it all in one layer. I mean, you can do that, but it's just, it takes too long, number one, but sometimes you can get lost in the painting and not in a good way. Sometimes. But with this sort of style where I'm not sure how you describe it, where the edges are super like basic, sharp, but within that it's so painterly. I tend to see this style in Viz Dev, visual development types of spaces. Pretty cool. I like it. I like the vibe. Some birds. Pretty bird. I'm guessing it's like it's two girls playing something, traveling. I think this is a God of War. Interesting. I think is it their work? Maybe, yeah, I guess it is. But in this case, they have line work sort of in there. And the way it's colored underneath, it has that watercolor sort of effect to it. Like a wash effect. I'm gonna have to zoom in. An ode to car rides with friends. Aww. Can't relate. Lonely. I'm Mr. I like the style. Interesting. You can still see the brush spacing in those edges. And they look like those stitches in car seats. So that's kind of a nice bonus effect. So I'm guessing they're lost because they have like a Maps app open. Interesting. Their faces are stylized. It has a very cartoon. Just think Disney 3D animated films or Pixar films. It's a little anime-esque, but not really. It's like, just think of, what's the movie with the cute white robot? They were in like San Francisco or Tokyo, San Francisco something. Oh my god, it's a good film. And there was a song by this band Immortals, or the song name was Immortals. Immortals. I can't even sing it right. Oh my god. It has a 3D, well, not 3D, but that look. So let's scroll down. Are those penguins? Oh, that's so cute. What in the hell is this? Is that a salamander? It's super big too. Kawaii. Yeah. I think this is Hero Academia fan art. Is it? No idea. And for these ones, they do have lines in them. So they do have a couple of styles, but... Wait, this is from the... Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. Oh, I do like these ones. Oh, that's so... Oh, the wings. Oh my god. Yeah, I like this look. I don't see shadows. Essentially, the colors underneath, they're just flat. And the dark parts of these wings, I mean, they're kind of shadows, but I think they're more about the... Like, they're the color of the actual feathers. I don't think I don't think they're shadows. Maybe in some parts they are. Around here. And even in the bottom part of this, or these bits of hair. But overall, it's mostly just flat underneath. But I do see, even from this view, it's not a very big, high quality photo, but there's definitely some noise texture in there. Oh my, why is it loading so long? I like it. What the... Hawks? Okay, I'm gonna quit because it's taking too long to freaking load. Oh my god. I've seen this one. She's like the frog chick. She has a very weird looking face, but maybe that's the appeal. Yeah. So I do recommend it. Oh, is that Evangelion? Let me check that out. So that's Ray. Unit 00. Yeah. Back to school feeling. Oh, the days. By the way, I hated school for the most part because it felt like prison. Like it felt so unfreeing. Like my creativity was just being drained and sucked out of me, and not in a good way. So yeah. So if you're still in school, pray, and one day know it will end. You can move on and just do your own thing. So we got some haiku fan art, I believe. Yeah, they can go from like drawing it in this style, and oh my, it's sad because it's taking too long to fucking load. Sorry. And then they can go to this style where it's a lot more painted. I mean, I like that sort of freedom going between styles. That this one, it has a more opaque look. But you can tell the proportions are kind of... they're still somewhat the same. Can I open this in the... Oh my god. Is there something running in my background? No idea. Oh my... I'm gonna rage quit. Oh my... Oh, it's... jeez. Like, it keeps opening and it's like delayed. Yeah. Now this one, the brush they're using underneath, it's still flat, but it has a lot of texture. It looks almost like a crayon to me. I like it. Yeah. So that's it for this art review of Jacki. Check out their work. I will link this page in the description below. I think the bulk of their work is kind of like this. Heavy on like the environments, the mood, visual dev types of illustrations. Lots of like narrative in there. Even if it's just like the environment, there's a mood to it, like the color schemes, which is very important in like these types of fields. Oh shit, I think we haven't seen this yet. Oh, I like this one. Way more like, ooh, rich. Contrast, textures. Yeah, me like this one. What's the other one? Can we check? So some graffiti art. You know, that's nice having your own like setup on top of a building. Kinda hot. Oh wow. I like how it gets even more saturated as you go further into the center, or further away, but into the center of the space. And it gets a little more like pastel-esque, the color scheme. Like light pastel colors. Like almost like candy looking colors. And you see these two people kind of heading towards that direction. Even the birds look nice. Oh, it's so over. But again, look at the shot. Is it that crazy? And it's a fairly simple like shot. But what's in that shot? Insane. I want to see this one too. Like zoom in. I'm not sure if this is a building of a real place. Wait, let me just see this. I have experience with environment viz dev, lighting keys, props, and background painting. Oh, hit me up if you're interested. So check out JackiLi.com because they have amazing work. Cool. The fact that even the buildings were painted, like they do have some details too here and there, is so freaking impressive. And you can feel like the nighttime vibe. And they are kind of complementary colors. You have green and red. I mean, this one is not fully red. It's like a purple red, but it's close enough. So you have cooler colors in the back, warmer colors in the front. I do like this one though, even though it's like a street shot, a normal like shot of a street. It feels so dynamic. I guess it's the variety maybe that's kind of in the composition as well. Oh, this one is kind of simple, but it has like a very strong effect. Like you can feel like you're right there, right? Oh, what 29K? Fuck, likes, interesting. Can we zoom in? Oh my, can we please zoom in? I'm gonna end with this image. Well, they have a couple more here. Oh my, it's taking so long to load. I'm going to go berserk. Is something burning in the background? There's some kind of lighting effect happening. Oh, I think it's from her. It's like magical. Oh my, okay. Let me go back because I want to open the... Oh my god. Maybe I have so many tabs open. Yeah, this one has a lot of texture, even on the ground. It really shows you like the age, the wear and tear of that road, or the cross section. Am I saying it right? Where is this? In New York? Feels like New York. I want to see the one here. Oh, this one too. Now this one, oh my, why is it so... Okay. This one feels a lot more painterly to me. If you look at the edges, they're a lot more shaky, more jittery. And we've seen her do this with some character like art, but I guess it's because she has a lot of environmental background pieces where the edges are like super sharp. But she can go for this sort of style as well. Very opaque but painterly, like gouache-esque. Lots of textures too. And I don't think they come solely from the brushes. I think they add them after as some kind of layer effect. I think it looks really cool. And it just adds a lot of diversity to your work. So it kind of makes even if the shot is kind of simple, it just feels a lot more rich when you add some textures. A variety of textures in there. Oh, look at this shot. Why is it I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the extension I have is bugging, but oh, that's so cool. I'm guessing she's throwing them. I don't know. It's either she caught one of these like falling meteor thingies, or maybe she's adding to that horde of showers, or a shower by, yeah, you get that point. Where's the mountain one? I want to see it. Oh, there you go. Wait, if we zoom out, in the back, are those like mountains too? Or are they just like sky or clouds? Oh, look at that. Like you can feel like the vastness of this space, right? I'm guessing she's like in farmland or something. In her bike with some roses. Nice back. And hot. Nice star thing happening here. Feels very magical to me. Look at that. It looks so cool. Yeah. So I'm going to end the art review here of Jacki Li. I will link this page again, the X page, in the description below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.